Let me get going. Alright, Bobby. I'm doing this by myself, so I'm going to do the best I can and speak as clearly as I can so we can get our point across on this thing. Okay. Let's go. Yo, I'm Terrell from Hall of Fame Bullies, and here to pretty much just address our point of view on the bully game today and where it's going and where it's been, and to help educate some and maybe answer some questions. Probably piss some people off, but oh well. We got into the game in the early stages when the EE was just getting started. I'm from the Midwest now, residing in Florida, but we did our thing. We came in. I bought a lot of dogs. I was by myself originally. Now I have partners, Dion, Danny in Rhode Island, Day in Rhode Island, Matt from Ohio, and we're starting the D-Line, which is a major group that's focused on bringing some integrity back to the bully breed. We were originally a part of EE, and we did decide to leave because of differences and amongst a lot of things. It just, the group originally was all about the dogs. I mean, when we first came in, all these damn bugs. When we first came in, it was all about the dogs. We show up at a show, it was live. You had Hallie, you have Nugs, you might have Samson, Viper, Little Row. I mean, you name it. Killer Cam, and we was almost like an all-star team. Coming through the process, I started to really realize what things were about there, and that was the reason that we left there. A lot of backstabbing. I seen a lot of things that I really didn't like and I couldn't get down with. Guys attacking guys behind the scene or manipulating guys, and that's that would be things like Dave and Cruz telling me to attack Remy Line for overbreeding dogs and this, that, and the other. And once it got too heavy, then they would come on my same post that they told me to get these guys about because this was wrong for the breed, and pretty much dick ride the whole topic and try to seem like authorities on the situation. And not to mention that, but just selling people bad dogs, papers, issues, and everything. Originally we had a good cause, we was having fun, but the money is what messed these bullies up the whole way around. We had a lot of fun. My homies Danny, Top Shelf, Gary from Premier, Jake True Blue, I could keep on going on and on forever, all of the Adrians. And we had a real focus about what we were doing. During my process, I ended up getting incarcerated for a while, and by that time you could really see the deterioration of the whole game. When I was in the EE, of course I heard things that were going on inside the group as far as people getting dogs stolen, pretty much people getting dogs poisoned. I mean, we're not gonna bite no fingers or nothing, or bite no tongues rather, and say that we don't know what's what. I mean, I talked to Marco back then on a regular basis, and he used to tell me about guys getting close to him, and then next thing you know, when he didn't want to be a part of it, the dogs would come up poisoned. For whatever reason now, the same guys that he basically inferred, tried to kill Paco and Toshi, now he's everywhere with him and he represents it. And really, same thing happened to me and Danny with Daero. Can't understand why, but I know it was a lot of jealousy. It culminated at the Atlanta show. uh, where Daero basically couldn't get a award period with the ABKC. But then, won the rest of the show. It was obvious that he was the star of the show. And, you know, shortly thereafter, it was a lot of jealousy, It was brothers being pumped up that was half of the dog that he was, It was a lot of phone calls, come back to the EE, even though we were enemies. It was a lot of politics, a lot of talking behind people's backs. And, it the whole game just sort of changed up from start to finish. Overall, it just became a real sad state of affairs. When we started this game, it was all about the bullies, good, clean bullies and doing the right thing. And then the more we went along, it became politics. The first Virginia show, which I played a big hand in and did a lot of things to try to make that show go on, and believing in the dogs and believing in what we were doing. It was probably the beginning of the end for me, because it was disheartening that pretty much we knew that Paco was going to win this show regardless. We knew this. My female Hallie was bumped out early by a dog that pretty much, in my opinion, was like a game dog, very thin, not bully at all, not even close. And that was just basically so it wouldn't be any controversy at the end if they had to stack against each other. In my opinion, Hef was by far the best dog of the day, but because Marco was making good money and they wanted him in the group, it was a way to kiss his ass, basically. And that's what they did. The situation with Daero, which I know Bobby definitely wants me to touch on this. It's plain and simple. You can take it how you want to. You can take it as what you want it to be. But when it comes to that situation, Daero was murdered. It was a Father's Day. Danny left home with his family. Danny stays in a very, very, very secluded place. Only people who've really been to his house are EE members and friends, that what we thought was friends. Previous to that, the weeks previous to that, guys were calling him wanting to use the dog for studs and different things. He turned them down basically numerous times. Words were exchanged. On Father's Day, comes home and the 6 dogs are dead in the backyard, poisoned. It's real similar to the same thing that happened out there with Paco, and it's really ridiculous that it had to come to that. At the time, I was on my vacation, so I couldn't take care of the situation myself, and it's probably best that I wasn't, because I would have really taken care of it in a different fashion when those dogs have been getting hurt. And I might have been out of line, because to this day, we really can't say who done it, but we can definitely target the area that the resentment came from. Along this process, and I'm not trying to just be an EE basher, but that's where I'm from, so that's what I can tell you about. I've seen the things that's really marked the deterioration of this whole dog game. You talk about hanging papers. I know for a fact papers were hung. I know for a fact that was a company line. If they don't come through with these paperwork, we got plenty of papers to make this dog work. So, people can believe what they want to believe, and you can call it hating or whatever, but where I'm coming from, when a man tell the truth, there's no hate about it. The bottom line is, I'm here for these dogs. Of course, I could always charge top stud fees, and I could do different things because my dogs have earned that right. But during this process, I learned a lot more about caring for dogs and doing the right thing by the dogs themselves, so I won't let that overshadow anything. Today, as we go through this process, now we have deformed dogs, and I'm not going to bite any tongues or whatever, It's dogs like Miyagi. It's dogs, like several others. And a lot of these dogs, I don't even know their names because I don't pay them attention. They don't mean anything to me. But, no matter what anybody tell you in this dog game, a dog with blew out elbows or terrible hips is living in a life of agony and pain. And no matter what they say, it's bullshit. You should be able to voice your opinion on any dog. If you don't like Denzel, fine. That don't mean we can't kick it and be friends and have drinks and, you know, politic at these shows and have a good time. But at the same time, now it's a gangster mentality that every time somebody say they don't like a dog or whatever, these guys want to pile up on you on Facebook or on a message board and talk crazy. And, you know, to me it's all games because, you know, Biggie said it best. Picture me being scared of a motherfucker to breathe the same air as me. That ain't gonna happen. You know, I just hope as the bully community come along that we can really get this thing together in a positive manner. You know, my team has put together new dogs and we beefed up more even after the murder of a lot of our dogs. You know, we got a good group going. We got, you know, all kind of lines within this line, and it's a variety. I don't try to control what people breed. You know, we got littermate brother to Miyagi, champion Revy. You know, we got beautiful girls like Fantasia and Pumpkin, and, you know, we got Denzel now. You know, for the first time in 3 years now, I'm about to put it down and put together a huge group of high quality breedings of correct, super thick, big head, championship bullies. You know, we just gonna put it out there. You know, one of the questions that Bobby always asks me is this: where do I see the bully gang going in the next 5 years? And really, I mean, it's hope for me, but I think the world's is gonna split basically. You have a lot of people who still really love these dogs, and that's what they're here for. They're not trying to get rich. They're not trying to feed a family. They're not trying to buy a Benz. They're here because we love the dogs, and this is a great sport, and they're part of the family to us. Then you have the others who just that. They want to make a quick dollar. They don't care about the animal's health. They don't care about the people they sell them to. And, you know, main thing I'm urging, and I have talked to people from each registry, and I continue to say the same thing. I'm going to let a whole lot of animosity go towards a whole lot of things for the sake of the bullies, and hopefully that we can bring this thing back together and make it good enough that we can bring our kids to shows and we can kick it and do our thing, you know, and do have healthy bullies and a good community that can actually be promoted to the point where these people don't push it like they pushed it in other countries like Australia and basically want to kill anything that resembles a pit bull, you know. And you got to take accountability and understand you killing the breed. Nobody else is killing the breed, you know. This greed and this manipulation is killing the breed, you know. It's a lot of backstabbing. You see guys who want to use other guys' dogs after they talk shit about the dogs, you know, all for the sake of $1. And I think, you know, we're going to see that. You're going to have your gangster crew where it's all about making the most extreme, high-dollar dog, and you're going to have real show people rise to the occasion again, you know. But, I mean, my advice to anybody is just, you know, do what you got to do. I'm out. Yo, it's Terrell from Hall of Fame, and hopefully I did something, and Bobby can cut this thing up some kind of way to make sense out of it. But you know, basically don't believe anything you heard, man. Nobody ever gave us shit. We keep on working. We producing what we gotta produce, and we here with a lot of good friends like my man Bobby, you know, like my man Lou, you know, Gary. Hopefully we can pull Danny out of a foxhole and bring this old crew back together and save these dogs. Take care of yourself. Peace.